Happy Friday, everybody. Thank you so much for downloading or streaming the Be Our Guest podcast. So glad you're here to kick off the weekend with us a bit early. I'm headed out to see tomorrow on the new Disney Destiny, but my friend Pam Forrester joins me today, and we talk about her awesome time down at Walt Disney World last week, talking about all the fun holiday happenings around the 4 theme parks. So from Jollywood Nights to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, Festival of the Holidays over at Epcot, and more. We are getting you in the holiday spirit on today's show. Don't forget, today's podcast brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney adventure for no additional cost to you. Check out the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online this holiday season. Just click through beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You're our all-stars, so thank you so very much to each and every one of you. You can support us as well, just $5 a month. And for that support, you get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this weekend. We'd sure love to have you. Patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast.
Ready to take a trip to the world? You found the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. This is where your memories come front and center on our podcast stage.
Welcome to episode 2809 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you. Hope you're getting ready for a great weekend. So glad you are here because we are going to have some holiday fun to kick off the weekend. Talking about Pam Forrester's great times down at Walt Disney World and getting you set for your trip to Walt Disney World if you're headed down this holiday season, making sure you make the most of those, the cookies and cocoa and holiday tunes, all that stuff, all the stuff that I love. It's the best time of the year down at Walt Disney World. So joining me today, we have the co-host of the Be Our Guest podcast and the co-owner of the Magic for Less Travel, Pam Forrester. Pam, happy Friday. Big plans for the weekend. What are you guys doing?
Happy Friday.
The 3
yes.
off. Got big plans.
I'm
sure.
like, where am I? What's the date?
I know we record on Mondays. It's a long way. A lot could happen.
Right. Sure. Yes.
Exactly.
Big plans. Awesome plans.
I should have given you a heads up on that question. That was a tough one.
Yeah. Did you see me lock up?
I did.
Like,
I used to do that to my 6th graders all the time. What's 7 times 4? They're like, oh, dude, just give me 3 times 3.
Right. I know. Yeah, it's that time of year where, like, I think all your plans get kicked into overdrive. I feel like there's like something every day now, in addition to the regular stuff that you do. So, but it's good. It's a fun time of year. I love the holidays, love doing it. Our little town has this sort of Miracle on Main Street that happens on later on this week. So that's kind of cool. It's sort of like a combination, like giving, but supporting all the small businesses. And they do a parade, of course, and all this stuff. So it's fun stuff. And it's great that little towns still do stuff like this. So I like it. It's good. And Santa's in the parade, and then he goes to his little house, which happens to be in our little town. You may not know this, but Santa holds court here in our little town in his own little house, and he's been doing it since I was a kid.
No way.
Yeah, absolutely.
The big man is from Pennsylvania.
You didn't know, maybe, but yeah, he's here. I know. Well, maybe he sees people in other locations.
I was going to say, I didn't know.
If he can deliver all over, the world, he can certainly manage to, like,
That's true. He can stop. Yeah. Santa wears a Penguins jersey sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, he has to.
Who knew? He swings a terrible towel. Didn't know that. Okay, so I didn't tell you this on Wednesday, but I wanted to tell you this on the show. I was just doing some perusing, and did you know? Listen, did you know? And I'm excited because this involves our listeners, and I'm like super appreciative of this. Now, remember, we started our podcast in the year 2008, correct? 2008. We're coming up almost on 3,000 episodes because we didn't number them correctly. Like we're at 28 with 2809 tonight, and we didn't number some of our live shows along the way and stuff like that. So we're getting close to 3,000 like episodes out there. We're pretty soon. I was looking on iTunes in the United States iTunes store in places in travel today. just, in general. I mean, not Disney shows or anything like that, like places in travel. We're ranked number 11, like with Rick Steves and all those, ones that have backings of like NBC and CNN and, the Travel Channel. We're number 11. I'll take that. That's because our listeners support us after almost 19 years. So I just want to say a huge thank you to our listeners for all the ratings and the reviews. Because again, that's how you get kind of up in the ratings there. But because you guys go over there, give us 5-star reviews and say kind words on Apple Podcasts, but more importantly, you keep downloading the shows, and that makes me feel good. That makes us want to keep doing the shows. And, for a podcast where we're doing this, we're not NBC, we're not the Travel Channel, we don't have a big cable company behind us. We love doing these podcasts, but I mean, that's humbling to be able to be up there in the Apple store, because we're not a new show. We've been doing this forever, but it's humbling that people keep listening to us. So I just want to say thank you.
Agreed. It is completely humbling, and at times a little amazing.
That's what I said. I was like, wow, we're pretty close to the top there with the big guys.
I know. Right? It is, to see us up there with some other huge names in the not Disney travel industry, the travel industry. So, who knows? Maybe someday we'll get to, rub elbows with Rick Steves, and he can talk about Europe and we can tell him how to do Disney World, that kind of thing. So yeah, it is. And, I think all the credit really goes to our listeners and our community who have been with us for so long, and just tell friends and family about our podcast. They, I think they just appreciate sort of the brand of maybe humor and sometimes lack of knowledge, and sometimes the spin on what we do, the way that we give it. And I know I talked about this a little bit ago, but I think that the thing that we get told again and again that people like so much about our podcast is the positive spin that we have. And it is absolutely intentional, partly because of who we are and partly because what we want to do. And if we can put a little bit of magic and joy into the world, it's absolutely our goal to do that. And it's a privilege to get the opportunity to do that. So thank you all for being a part of this journey. It's awesome. And that was not like any kind of rehearsed Oscar speech or whatnot. It is truly from the bottom of our heart. So it's a cool thing.
It is.
And we're really glad to be able to have the opportunity to do this.
It is so fun because, and we're going to talk about your trip here in like 2 seconds, but it is so funny because our listeners that have been with us for a long time and our listeners who've kind of joined us here more recently, it's super interesting because they know about our families. They know about Paige when she was younger and going through middle school, high school, and now she's the director of basketball operations up in Chicago. And Hannah, like you just mentioned, you were talking about her buying a house and putting a deck on her house on Wednesday. And I'm thinking about, man, I remember when Paige and Hannah, I was scared to death with turning them loose to the Magic Kingdom for 3 hours by themselves. Right. And, just last night, Paige was, texting me, or she FaceTimed us. She was walking across the Brooklyn Bridge. She'd never been to New York City by herself because they got stranded up there at a basketball tournament. And she's walking across the Brooklyn Bridge and she's in Times Square. I've never been to New York City myself. So I'm like, so hold the thing still. I want to see Times Square. Like, it is that, the World Trade Center, the One World Trade Tower, because it's super foggy. I'm like, it looks like you're in the movie Batman. I'm like, it's amazing. Like, it looks like you're in Blue Bloods, but it's so wild that we've been doing this so long. It's crazy. 19 years, like in the spring, it's nuts. But I just appreciate everybody sticking with us, and that we're up there high enough that it shows that people do listen to us all around the world. I'm like, I'm sitting here in my basement in Paige's old bedroom in a snowy Missouri. It just kills me. I'm not in some tower like these other people are in CNN headquarters. We're gonna catch you. It's gotta kill them though. We're up there with them. Like, I love it though.
I'm sure that people are sort of like scared of that, right?
No, I'm sure they're not, but I just love that we can play. That's why podcasting is the best. It's kind of like we can hang. We can hang out of the snowy basement in Missouri. Anyway, let's talk about your trip down to Walt Disney World. Hey, the little guy can score one for the little guy because that's who we are.
For sure.
We talked about your Destiny cruise last week. So you did a lot of stuff at World. So give us some highlights though, because we got about 30 minutes. How was it?
I did. It was good. And it was at the very beginning of the holiday season there. So the all the decorations were not up at the resorts yet, but they were up at the parks, or at least mostly up at the parks. And so I was glad to sort of get in on the beginning of that. And actually, when I was there, I just, all I thought the whole time was, oh, I need to come back here before the holidays. And I'm going to. We came home and immediately made plans to do so. That's how much I like it. So anyways, but I also had the opportunity to sort of experience some of the new things that are at Walt Disney World, and that included, I don't want to get this wrong, Zoogather, the Zootopia thing at the Animal Kingdom. Is that the word for it? Zoogather?
If that's correct, that's wrong. I don't know. Shall look it up. Ricky would be typing.
Together. Yes, it's called Zootopia Better Together.
God, that's terrible.
Right.
This is why I don't get invited to all the media stuff. I get invited to some because that's not great.
Zootopia Better Together.
Yeah, that's hard to say. That's
yeah, and there's not even an acronym for it, really. Yes, Max.
Zootopia. Yes.
10 times fast. No, I cannot.
Wait, say it again. Zootopia.
Better Together.
Yeah, that just doesn't roll off the tongue.
Rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does not.
Just sort of like Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party or whatever.
That rolls way better. That rolls like the Crimson Tide.
So anyways, but I had the opportunity to see this, and of course this is in the Tree of Life at the Animal Kingdom, and where It's Tough to Be a Bug used to be. And when I saw, I was looking forward to this because I love the Zootopia ride, or the Zootopia movies. I think it's just a really, I think it's just a really sweet movie. It's a sweet story. I like Judy Hopps. I like Nick Fox. I like all of it. So I was really looking forward to seeing this. And Nick Wilde, not Nick Fox, Nick Wilde.
See, I don't know. You got me, dude. I'm just like, where's who he is? But
you're just nodding along because you don't ever see the movie.
I've seen the commercials and I know the guy's Nick, but I was like, I don't think he's that. But we're okay.
No, he's Nick Wilde.
Like, maybe it's his cousin. I don't know. Maybe he got ran over by a cab, because I know there's like a cab where the guy goes, no problem. That's like the big. I'm like, I crack up at that commercial. Go ahead.
But the thing, I loved this this attraction. I thought it was a great rebranding of it. I thought that it really just sort of incorporated what we really liked about the movies. But if you haven't seen the movies, you don't need to see, you don't need to know the movies to really enjoy this. They did a great job. They have a lot of the celebrity performers that are, sort of in the Zootopia world. And I liked it. It really does do like a 3D, 4D / show. And I thought it was I think it's like such a great use of space to be able to walk into underneath the Tree of Life. I've always sort of liked that idea, and this really sort of fit in with that. So I hope that people will enjoy it and like it as much as I do. They have the little tiger, I forget what his name is, the Clausen guy. I'm not as great with all the the names as I should. But
once your kids buy a house and they're working on decks, you kind of forget the characters' names. When they're
right.
little, like, you're more in tune to these kind of things.
Yes, exactly. But they have him, so do you remember in the old It's Tough to Be a Bug that Hopper would fly down?
Yes.
And that was kind of a cool part about that. But they do. Benjamin Clawhauser, that's his name. Benjamin Clawhauser is the audio animatronic that is now taking over that spot. And he does a great job. And I think it used the theater well. It really uses the effects well. There's some cool things in it. I'm not going to give all the secrets away because I want y'all to go experience it yourself. But this is going to be a cute attraction. And the day that we were there, it was packed. Like the attraction was packed. And I think that always when they redo an attraction, I'm always so glad to see that they sort of reinvigorate that attraction. Like new people are seeing it, new people are doing it, and while this absolutely has a different overlay to it, I think it will be something that will be, that everyone will really sort of enjoy. So go see it if you haven't seen it. It's a really cool thing to do in Animal Kingdom, and I think in times of when the weather's not as good or whatnot, it's also a great way to sort of spend a little bit of time out of the weather.
That is a good. People don't. It's like Spaceship Earth, right? People don't think that there's an attraction within the kind of the weenie there.
Right. Yes, so, exactly. But there is. And it's a great reminder too, to make sure you sort of look and do those little walking paths that are at the base of the Tree of Life, because those are really cool too. Some of them have animals on them. Some of them are just sort of a walking path to sort of get up closer to it. But there's lots of carved animals in that tree, and being able to see that is a really cool thing too. And the other thing about the Animal Kingdom is at the holidays, they have those awesome polar bears sort of wandering around there in the Tree of Life, the big puppets.
I'll say breaking news, not real polar bears. These are puppets. These are marionettes.
This isn't a loss.
You gotta be clear about that, Pam.
Yes, you do. Right? The polar bears, and they have some flying birds too. That's sort of this whole puppet kind of thing, and I really love them. I think that so sort of fits in with the sort of holiday theming. But the other thing is that the Animal Kingdom, I think has some of the most subtle and yet the most interesting holiday decor of any of the 4 parks. It's something that's like not in your face, right? But it really fits within the theme. I will say the most themed maybe for that. We all love Hollywood Studios, and I'll talk about that in a little bit because it all has sort of a retro feel.
Yeah, spaghetti poodles.
Yes, spaghetti poodles.
But okay, I've never seen those marionette, puppet things. Now, let me ask you about this. And I haven't watched the videos because I have intentions to see them, and I don't want to spoil myself. But do they have like music playing around them, or what's the vibe? Because they look like, because I've seen pictures, obviously, because Ricky posts vlogs and stuff. But like, what's the interaction like? I mean, it can't be silent. What's the vibe with these experiences?
So there's sort of musicians usually that are there, like some live musicians sort of that are there doing it. But the real cool thing about it is it's sort of an opportunity to interact with these. And there are more than just polar bears. Like sometimes they call it like the Merry Menagerie or something like that.
It kind of look like there's like a little giraffe or something, or
yes,
kind of thing.
There's penguins, there's reindeer. I don't know about giraffes, but there's foxes.
Maybe I was just having a bad taco or something that night.
Maybe you just remember the giraffe from other parts.
I don't know. Exactly. It was a bad burrito.
This is going to turn into like a George C. Scott Christmas story, something or other. But anyway. But I think that's the part that's really cool, is that you do have the ability, like we saw, there were a few kids who were just enthralled by these like puppets, right? And they were up like petting the polar bear, because the polar bear is pretty big. Like, I don't know if he's life size, but he's large.
I'm sure. So. I mean, it would. Otherwise, it's false advertising. Yeah.
Right. Yes, people will see real polar bears and be like, "What?" No, but they were. I mean, the kids like loved them, but then adults too. And there's sort of a photo opportunity, and people get to do that. So it's really sort of a merry kind of thing. So yes, it wasn't just, they roll out these puppets or whatnot. So that was pretty cool.
That makes me happy. Okay, good.
Yes.
Animal Kingdom, check. You have
Animal Kingdom. Yes. And make sure you look at the subtle but very themed Christmas decor, because I think it's definitely worth it in that. And I'm sort of kind of looking through some of my photos. By the way, like literally to be even a merchandiser there, which like as you walk into the shop, they set up this like central display that is all themed to whatever holiday or here we go, like candy canes that we happen to be celebrating. Like it's it is really, that must be the one of the most fun jobs for sure, because even the things within the shops are worth seeing and photographing and all of that. And then of course I want to talk about the Magic Kingdom, because the Magic Kingdom is always, I feel like, sort of one of the central locations for all the holiday things, of course. But when you step onto Main Street, I think, and you see the soldiers, the tree, the wreaths going down Main Street, the castle, it looks so good. It could not look more like a postcard perfect kind of thing. I love everything about the decorations there. I have a hard time thinking about what's my favorite. But that tree, just the fact that that tree is so huge and so there, and just sort of has these sort of classic sort of ornaments on it. I really enjoy that. I think it's worth going up to always to the train station and just looking down Main Street that way, because that's such a cool view. But I don't know, what do you love the most about those decorations at the Magic Kingdom?
I think what it is for the Magic Kingdom for me is that inevitably on Christmas morning, our tradition is we get up. Now it's later. I'll give you that, as the kids have gotten older, which that's a blessing. I mean, it's a blessing and a curse, right? Because I'm very traditional. Like that's one of the things that, as you've listened to the show since 2008, as we've grown older together as a podcast family, which is kind of cool. You know, the kids get up super early as they're younger and so forth. And, you know, you see what Santa left under the Christmas tree, and we still do that. But it has gotten later and later as the kids have gotten older. But we still do that. But what we do now is, I'll be honest, as we all gather around the Christmas tree on Christmas morning, our tradition is that we have this is different for everybody, I'm sure, but we have the SEC channel on, which is it's the SEC Yule log on Christmas morning, which is it shows like the Yule log, right? But it plays, what it does is it scrolls through all 16 schools' fight songs, and it'll show like paraphernalia from all 16 schools. So it'll show the Mizzou, I don't know, football helmet, you know, this stuff. It'll show Kentucky and Alabama and Auburn and, you know, Arkansas, so forth. It's kind of what we do. But then once that, it kind of rolls, you know, it does its thing, but it burns out by like 9:30. And then at that time, that's when the special comes on from Walt Disney World, like the parade, when that starts. So I think a lot of our audience, we all watch the Walt Disney World parade, right? That comes on, and that's kind of what we're watching. Is the Pam? We're done usually opening the presents to each other and seeing what Santa left, and then my dad comes over from his house, and you know, we exchange presents with my dad and so forth. But that's when the Walt Disney World parade comes on ABC. Yeah. And we put that, but I think that the thing is, for our Walt Disney World vacations, the Magic Kingdom is special to us, long answer, because that's where, if you're down there during the holiday season, you get to make that connection with your trip to what you're going to see on Christmas morning, right? You see, oh, that's the Christmas tree that we saw back in December on our trip, you know, and those are the dancing soldiers that play the trumpets, or the drummers and so forth. And that's the castle, and that's the guard, you know, like if you were lucky enough to get to go during holiday season, you get to make that special connection that's where we were in the Magic Kingdom this year, and we get to see that's kind of the special thing. If you got to take a holiday trip, you get to make that special connection on Christmas morning that we were there. That's kind of my thing.
Agreed. I think it's like, so you always sort of, as the park with like that sort of the icon of Walt Disney World, right? The Magic Kingdom, you see the castle, you know exactly where that's going.
Mm-hmm.
I think that that's what so many of us make a memory of, and we may have photos of our family in front of that or whatnot. Again, another plug to always get PhotoPass. It is worth it. It is the add-on we recommend the most. It's the cheapest, one of the cheapest add-ons you can do to your Disney vacation, and it's certainly worth it. Just having those photos, I think, are so precious, in the magic shots and whatnot. And also, when you're there, don't forget to see the Jingle Jungle Cruise, because that is part of what's available for that time of year. There are also special shows and whatnot, but the other one not to miss is the Frozen Holiday Surprise, because that's when they sort of illuminate the castle, and it's definitely worth seeing. So some great things there at the Magic Kingdom for sure. And then one of the other things that we did, of course, was Epcot. That was, you know, I think Epcot, again, sort of helps us think about, you know, bringing the whole world together. When you do the nighttime show, I always remember the illuminations with the tag on and things like that.
Walter Cronkite.
Right?
Oh,
Yes.
oh my gosh,
Agreed.
It brought me to tears every year. Let there be peace on earth. Oh,
I know.
And let it begin with me. We actually sang that in my class. We sang that like right before. And then, again, how old am I? This is something, you know, like, I don't know if kids do this in school anymore, but we did. Like, my class would sing this before we left for Christmas break, like in front of the whole school, like the 4th, 5th, and 6th graders.
Yeah. And it's just sort of, I always think of that each time I'm in Epcot over the holidays. And not that there's not other things going on for the holidays, but that is always something I remember, because I think it sort of did a great job of reminding us all what the holidays are sort of about. So loved that. And of course, you also have the Epcot International Festival of Holidays, which has the different holiday traditions at each one of the countries. It has, of course, a festival with booths, Mike. You know, I mean, food booths. There's no holiday festival in Epcot that goes by without food booths. So
exactly. It's Scott posted, because he came home. I wasn't sure if he was going to make it home. Like, I knew he had his Epic Fantasy Cruise, which we're going to talk about here in the next couple of weeks. I was like, is he going to make it back for the live call-in show? And I wasn't positive. So I was kind of watching him Find My Friends. Nope, his little car would pass right past MCO, back to Epcot, which, good call. But he's paying the price today. That's why he's not on the show with us. He said he got home at like 1 a.m. and he's dragging. So I totally feel him.
Yeah.
But he mentioned that, you know, again, you know, take advantage of your time. He went to Epcot and kind of squeezed in those last few hours of vacation. So they went to Epcot Festival of Holidays, but he posted a picture he went back to the you know, America, and for Festival of Holidays, he had like a little Thanksgiving kind of meal. You know, we're past it, but man, that looked like he's like $7. But like turkey and stuffing, I mean, it was good looking. So, you know, again, you go around and sample all the offerings during Festival of the Holidays. Good stuff. And like, you got the cookie stroll going on and all that good stuff. Oh, good stuff.
I know, so much to see and do. And reports have it that you can see Santa Claus at Communicore Hall.
Nice.
So that's awesome.
And apparently Pennsylvania.
And Pennsylvania, and the other, yes, at his house. This is where he summers in Florida, or you know, off season in Florida,
he's
off hours, perhaps. Whatever.
You go see him in a Penguins jersey, Pennsylvania.
That's right. But you can also see Santa Goofy at the Odyssey, right?
Nice.
Who doesn't love Santa Goofy?
Exactly.
And of course, they do the holiday storytellers. So you'll be able to see a number of those. And Joyful, they have the gospel choir there that performs, and they are fantastic every year that they're there. So love hearing them. The other thing, of course, is your favorite and mine, the Candlelight Processional.
Like, wait,
Professional.
like, They took it up a notch this year.
It's more professional than ever before.
I was like, wait, you're breaking news.
Right. I know they have such great narrators there. So we love seeing that. It, of course, is the retelling of the Christmas story. And another thing, so when we go down, I think it's next week, we are going to be doing the greenhouse tour, the the behind the seeds tour. It gets an overlay for the holidays, and I'm really looking forward to that too. So can't wait to
The glittering
see that.
greenhouse. So let me ask you a little hot take on this. Maybe it's not even a hot take. It's because it's Christmas. It's a cool take. But is that kind of one of the most underrated cool things Walt Disney World does during the holiday season? Because it is so, like the glittering greenhouse is like, it's beautiful. They take, which I mean, again, it's kind of a joke, but it's not. Living with the Land is one of the best experiences at Walt Disney World. Definitely at Epcot. Because it leans into what Epcot used to be in the 80s and 90s. But man, when they put those lights in there during the holiday season, it's so beautiful.
A snowman made of sand, my friend. A snowman made of sand. I mean, there's just so much to love about the glimmering greenhouse.
Yeah, and everybody calls it something different. That's probably what it is actually called. I call it the glittering or glowing or
whatever.
It has all kinds of names. It's kind of like, my grandpa, he would call everything by a different name every single time he called it,
It's fine.
My friends, he would rename my friends. Steve.
But they
Stu.
put decor in there. They do so many fun things. And while we will claim that the Living with the Land is arguably the best attraction in Epcot, there's not really much argument you're going to get from me on this. It is the best attraction at Epcot. And then they just do the glimmering greenhouse. And then you take that and do the behind the scenes tour and get to combine that again. So behind the scenes tour is probably one of the most underrated, tours in all of Walt Disney World. Then you combine that with the fact that it has a holiday overlay, and I think you've just got a slam dunk there in terms of winning. So lots and lots of good stuff going on for sure at Epcot. It's probably one of my favorite parks for the holidays, just because I think it does what Epcot does so well and sort of shows us new and interesting things that are going on at each of the countries for the holidays. And I think that really sort of gives us a glimpse into something that we may not see at other times of the year. So I love that.
And again, too, one of the things that kind of slides under the radar that they have enhanced the last 3 years, Spaceship Earth with those lights and the music package.
Oh yeah,
so good. I mean, because the thing is, during the holidays they can add a holiday score and change that lighting package, and bam, you have a whole nother show every night.
Yeah, it is, and worth seeing, and included with the price of admission, folks. I mean, don't miss it, or it's like you're not getting your full value out of the day.
Yeah, don't miss it. Don't sneak out that International Gateway without seeing that night show. No. Spaceship Earth. What are you doing?
Right. You're gonna have to walk up to the front and see it.
Exactly. I mean, make sure you wear your Skechers. Comfortable shoes, people. Comfortable shoes.
That's so funny.
Yes.
And then I want to talk lastly, but certainly not leastly, about Disney's Hollywood Studios, because does this park have the best holiday decor of all the parks?
It does. See, I was going to ask you, like, which park, it's hard to say, like, which park is the best during the holidays, but this is definitely the most beautiful park.
It is. And I think it is because it really marries a retro vibe that so many of us saw at a relative's house or at our house.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, so many things there, because spaghetti poodles. I didn't even know that I even knew what those were. I had to look them up, but my great grandma and grandpa had those sitting on top of the old console TV stereo that was all one unit in their house and over at Alton, Illinois. Totally remember.
Yeah. It's so good. It just really is. And then they have, the little girls holding the candy canes, and it's just the decor there just sort of hits someplace in my brain that I love it. It marries, first of all, it has great neon, once the
Mhm.
lights come on regularly. And then during the holidays, it's even better. I am a sucker for that sunset season's greetings that shows on the Tower of
Oh,
Terror.
me too.
Like, how did they make that look like
I know.
something that doesn't even look like?
That
It
that
looks
that
like a gingerbread
yes.
house
I know
at
that
one
projection mapping that they do on the castle and on Tower of Terror, like it's
What?
ridiculous.
point.
The first time
How
I
does
still, I mean, I've probably told this story 100 times on this show, but I got to tell it 101. The first time they did that on the castle, and they did that scene where it looked like a rocket shooting off, I was like,
yeah. Yeah.
holy crap, the castle's coming off the ground. I went to Pam. I was like, oh my God, the castle's coming off the ground. Like, I for real thought it was moving. I
Right,
am kind of
it's so
gullible.
good.
I get that I'm kind of gullible. But like they turned that thing into a rocket, and it's like, oh my God, it's coming 5 feet off the ground. Like
Yeah.
they got me.
Agreed.
I got. Yeah, it's
Yes.
unreal.
And it does. I will just stand there and watch it for quite a while, actually. Probably more than I should, because I've seen it more than once.
Yeah,
But
same.
if you haven't seen it, there's like four, I believe, different little movies that sort of play on the Tower of Terror, that each of them has a different theme. It's awesome. It is definitely worth seeing. The other thing I did when we were there was we did Jollywood Nights. So that is a fun event. We had a great time doing it. So first of all, they turned the area in front of the theater into an ice skating rink.
I love
Like
that.
with and they had like a show. Like it was like Disney on Ice, like right there in front of the theater.
Or for my
So
generation, the Ice Capades.
the ice capades.
My grandma took
Yeah,
us to the Ice Capades at the old arena many times.
the ice capades.
Yes.
But then, of course, like they do on other nights too, they have the big tree there and you get those gorgeous pictures where the
Oh,
tree is sort of
yes.
reflecting
With the
into that pond.
the ornaments out there. Oh, perfect.
Right. It's
Love
so
it.
good. So good. They did a dance party, of course, because there's, every celebration has a dance party, and Jollywood is no exception. They had the Pixar pals out there, Edna Mode, busting a move out there.
Sweet.
But again, the fun thing about this was a really sort of close up opportunity to see some of these Pixar characters. Like Frozone was there, but like it's not like they're up on stage. They're mixing around with guests, dancing with guests, doing all that. So I thought that's kind of a neat perspective on that. I'm so glad that they do that. The kids were loving it. They were getting pictures, but also dancing with them. And I always think like that's a real memory. Like you sort of remember that as a kid. Like remember that time I danced with Edna Mode on that. So I really liked seeing that. They also have that Nightmare Before Christmas show that takes place at the theater where they do Frozen. And the other time I had done Jollywood, I did not see this because I will just tell you, the line was intimidating, and I was like, "There's no way I'm standing in line for that show, right?" But this time, I actually waited, and this is probably what happened the other time, but I didn't go back and check. If you aren't going to like the first one or two shows, then the line sort of dies down.
Yeah.
Well, duh.
Well, yeah, because all the influencers have gone through and got their content. Yeah, exactly.
Right, exactly. I guess so. But they have a fantastic it is really a very cute show, and the Jack Skellington character is impressive. So I will say, if you haven't had an opportunity to see it, maybe you were dumb like I was. It is worth it to go and see that show because it's very impressive. And of course, like all the other festivals and all the other celebrations, they have food that is only available during Jollywood Nights. And look at it, because they include like turkey popovers and like the sides popovers. So they have a turkey popover that is basically turkey and gravy and whatnot in this popover. But then they have one that is all the sides, like macaroni and cheese and greens and stuff like that. So I really appreciated that. It's actually a different kind of food. I realized that Jollywood is actually an add-on. It's a ticketed event. You have to have a ticket to go in and see it, and may not be what may not be like what you wanted to spend money on. And I get that. But if you're looking for an add-on and you really want to sort of embrace that holiday spirit, I think Jollywood is really something that I want to recommend. I love Mickey's Very Merry. So if you ask me to choose between the two, I don't know that I could. I see them both for what they are.
Okay, a couple questions on that. Okay, because I'm just curious about this. I've seen more, just watching social media and posting things like this, I've seen more people taking kids to this event this year because I think last year and the previous years, at least, it's been at least marketed as an adult event. Not that it was an adult exclusive event, but it was an adult oriented event. But I have seen people taking their kids to this event. So what would you say, like, what's the advice for folks thinking about taking kids to Jollywood? Is it a good idea? What do you say to that?
So I do think it probably is geared a little bit more toward adults, but I will also say that there is so much there for kids to do. First of all, the Muppets have a show at the Theater of the Stars, which is the Beauty and the Beast one. So I think that that's really cool. There are some characters here that you just don't see at other times. Like Phineas and Ferb were there. Nice. Max from Goofy's Max, Powerline, Max, all of that. That was there. The thing that makes it probably more adult is the fact that there's a lot of folks that really get dressed up for this.
Kind of like that whole like flappers kind of
yes,
thing.
Yes. Like Disney bounding, all kinds of holiday things. There were people like dressed up in really like glittery dresses and whatnot. So that was something that I thought was really cool. And that was, not everyone is that. We were not. We had on like a holiday t-shirt or something like that. But, I went there to like go and see and do it all. So I was wearing tennis shoes and jeans and a holiday t-shirt. So, and we fit in. There were tons of people that were dressed just like us. But the other thing is, during this, there's also a fireworks show, which is Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam.
Oh my gosh.
So that's a good fireworks show, right? And it takes the characters from Prep and Landing and of course other Disney things to show that. But I thought that was, that's a really cool fireworks show. So it's hard to say what, to not take kids to that. But if you're a party of only adults, then you may want to consider Jollywood, because I do feel like this is geared a little more towards adults.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking that too. I mean, yeah. And that kind of lends to my second question is, I would say that Jollywood, even more than Mickey's Very Merry, is an event where if you're really trying to get your bang for your buck, because you're paying a premium for this experience, you are probably going to want to lean more into the event exclusive things going on rather than trying to squeeze out a Smuggler's Run experience or a Slinky Dog, because again, I'm sure that the attraction wait times are super short during this event.
They were,
which is going to it's kind of a catch-22, because it's going to be tempting to draw you away from that, but you're paying for these exclusive events. You'll go see the Muppets, go see the Jack Skellington, the Nightmare Before Christmas show. I mean, would you what's your best advice for good time usage to get your value out of the ticket?
I would not look at it as a ride opportunity, or at least we did not, because I wanted to do all of the things and we didn't even we didn't wait in line for characters, and there were tons of character opportunities, just really so many. And I liked seeing them. Like, there were just there was Chewbacca, there was
Oh yeah, because
Party
he had
City.
that Life Day opportunity, right, with the red the thing on.
Yes.
See, I don't. I'm a Star Wars
Yeah.
guy, but I'm not so deep into it that I understood all. I guess that's his birthday or something. Yeah, exactly, kind of thing.
Yes,
Yeah,
or well, yeah, it's like a festival there on his planet. There
Kashyyyk.
was the Partysaurus Rex in Toy Story Land, Bing Bong from Inside Out, Miguel from Coco, the Mandalorian and Grogu,
Dang, that's a
Lotso,
lot. Yeah, that's
the
cool.
Three Caballeros, Baloo and King Louie from
You see,
Tailspin.
this is a great idea because the thing is, like, you don't have to like be an obsessive person about all those characters, but what that's going to do is going to draw people that are into that area, so it spreads everybody out. Because if you have three, I mean, if you have 10 different character meet and greets, it it just takes the crowds down to all of them. Like, I love it. Let's do this because that gives everybody an opportunity to go around and get more character meet and greets during the party. Smart.
Yeah, there was. But then there were things that were, I think, like decidedly adult. Like there is, jazz Christmas tunes being played at the Brown Derby. There is the Tip Top Club or that is taking place in the courtyard area of the Hollywood Tower of Terror. There was just I mean, there was a lot of live entertainment, which I thought was, really good to have too. And they actually have made a little character specifically for Jollywood, and they call that little gingerbread guy Ollie.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah, I remember him last year.
right.
Yeah, Ollie.
So you can get merchandise that is exclusive to the event, and it features Ollie. Ollie the Jolly Gingerbread. That's his full name,
Smooth,
right?
smooth marketing person.
I know that's a lot easier to say than some of the other
That's
things
that person needs to talk to the Zootopia namer.
together. But it's worth checking out. And Jollywood is typically from the first week in November to about the week before Christmas happens. They don't have it going on during Christmas. Probably this year it ends like I think the last one is December 22nd. And we just found it a fun event. We really enjoy it. There's something again about the after hours events, I think, that really they just feel special. There's lots of things that you can only do and see and eat during those events, so it's worth checking out for sure.
And we're gonna wrap. But the thing I like about Jollywood is that, from kind of a layman's point of view, and again, not having gone, because again, I have this thing, right? With running Dopey, it's really hard to get down for the holidays because I go right after and spend a week running all the races and all that expense. But is that over the 3 years or so that they've had Jollywood, I think that they've really kind of listened to the feedback of this party. And at first it was kind of like, oh my gosh, this didn't get great feedback the first night, and that they immediately addressed the feedback like to the second weekend, real quick. They threw that in, and then they learned like from year 1 to year 2 and really improved it there. And every year this event is evolving with, they're adding a lot to it. They're modifying it with the new, properties that are hot, and they're adding to it a lot. So this one, more than any event, I think, has really grown and become popular, and I think they're really trying to make this thing become, maybe on the level of a Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, like part 2. Do you think that? I mean, I think
Yeah,
they're really trying to make this thing grow.
I do. And I actually went to the very first Jollywood event that they offered. Year 1, night 1. And I was like, I'm not sure about this. You know what I mean? But like you said, they absolutely took feedback from that first night. And by within a week or so, they addressed so many of the concerns. When we went, you had to sort of go to this location to get your wristband. We were waiting in line, then waiting in line, then waiting in line. They had that all sort of worked out this time. And like the other events, they had a time that those with tickets could come in, and they really did a good sweep of the park at that point. And I think that's something that they had sort of more nailed down too. They were looking for wristbands throughout. It's always weird to me whenever I go to one of these after hours events that they're looking for your wristbands. Like they really want to see them. They're much more, I don't want to say aggressive because that's the wrong word, but they're much more vigilant about, seeing the wristbands. And they always have been for like before you got an attraction, but they're doing it before you go into any restaurant, before you order from anywhere, before you walk into certain areas, they're looking for it. And don't you always wonder, are there people who try to stay in the parks?
I think it's just the society we live in today that it's, you see social media and it's like it's a hack, right? Here's seven ways to try to get into Jollywood without paying. Here's ways you can stay at the party for 90 minutes without paying. It's
the weirdest thing.
Yeah, because you're not having an enjoyable experience because you're not going to get on anything. You're not going to get to do much. And the
you're
thing
not
is,
going to get to eat the food, see the shows, do any of those things.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of cheating the system. You get what you pay for kind of thing. And that's how the thing works. It's an exchange for its goods and exchange system. But
right.
Preacher Tony's over on Instagram. He said, we did both Christmas parties the week of the 17th, Jollywood Nights and Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. And both were great, different, but we enjoyed both. And I think that's kind of the ultimate, right? Is that you're going to have two different experiences. And I think that's good. Both fun parties and different experiences. You don't want to have two same things.
Right, for sure. And they are very different experiences. I think that's what we found too. We really did enjoy them both. I couldn't choose between the two of them. Honestly, I couldn't. They're both such different experiences. And Jollywood's maybe is a little more show intense and whatnot. But again, I just find them both like great opportunities if you're looking to do something festive for sure.
All right. Well, that got me I don't drink eggnog, but I can go get some Christmas cookies now, I think. It's the weekend. I'm going on a cruise tomorrow. I got to get ready to have all the desserts. Wait.
Yes,
I can't. Tomorrow night, I'll be in Fort Lauderdale getting ready to get on the Disney Destiny. And my goal before I get on the ship is to see a palm tree with Christmas lights. That's one of my favorite
I think
things.
You'll be able to see that.
Let's go. So real quick, one tip for the Destiny. Give me one before we get out. What do you got? You're just on it.
I think that I'd want to see that show at the end of the cruise, at the nighttime show at the end of the cruise, like the Kiss Goodnight sort of thing, or they call it something different.
I call it the mad dash, where you meet the characters at the very end, like where you get the 10 minutes.
Yes, but just watch from up above. You don't have to meet all the characters.
I have to be in it. See, I like the aggressive, kind of the scat. Okay, so you just watch the madness happen. Okay.
Yes, you do, and interact with those two people who are like your guides throughout the cruise when you have the opportunity.
Phineas and Ferb.
No.
I just forget their names. I'll learn them.
You will learn them though, for sure. Right. Yeah, do that. Do those two things.
I'm excited to show Pam because she's never seen like the Haunted Mansion bar or anything like that.
Oh,
so
yeah.
This will be cool. All right.
It's a good one.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. All right. Well, we'll do this again soon. So thanks, Pam.
Right.
Thanks for sharing all the holiday magic.
Happy to. Yeah.
All right. Well, don't forget, lots of time still to get down there this season to get to see the big man and all the helpers. They like to vacation down south, I've heard, and they like to run into you. So come on, we'll help you out. Swing by themagicforless.com. We can help you get down there. Or, hey, if you can't make it this holiday season, it's a great time to put a vacation under that tree for Christmas morning. We can do that as well. So just swing by themagicforless.com. We'll help you plan a great Disney adventure for no additional cost to you. Again, check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You guys are the all-stars that keep us on the air, and I cannot thank you enough for that. You can support us as well, just $5 a month. And for that support, you get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this week. We'd sure love to have you. Patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. Give me a follow on the social media. Again, I'm going to be on the Disney Destiny this next week. So follow me. I'm going to be posting live from the ship's videos, pictures, and I'll be going live actually from the Destiny while we're out at sea. So follow me at BeOurGuestMike on Instagram. That's where I'll be doing all the posting. Also on X.com and Threads. Also on Facebook, on our Facebook page at Be Our Guest Podcast. Give us a like over there because I'll be going live from there as well. Pam is at TMFLT Pam and all those places as well. So give her a follow there. And let's see what else. No live show this time, but join us in the clubhouse, beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. Your invitation is waiting. That's our Discord server. We have a great time hanging out there all the time as well. All right, so we get back together again on Monday. I wish you guys a great weekend. Catch me on the Disney Destiny Live over the weekend, and next week we're going to be having a great time. But until then, you guys have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon.
You've been listening to the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. If you have questions, comments, or would like to be a guest on the show, please visit our website at beourguestpodcast.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you real soon.